Give them facts, numbers, and charts if you want to kill your training audience quickly. But if you're going to make your training sessions engaging and memorable for learners, then for the love of everything that's good in this world, tell a story. Hello and welcome to the L&D Academy's channel. I'm Irina, and I've been designing and delivering custom trainings for well over a decade now. And today we're talking about storytelling and how you can use stories in your training sessions. You might wonder, what's the big deal about stories? But they are a huge deal. Our brains are naturally wired to pay attention to stories. Humanity survived for the longest time in history because of the stories it would pass down from generation to generation, way before we decided to create alphabets and write them down for posterity. So let's see, what are the benefits of storytelling specifically for adult learners? Storytelling can be instrumental in helping people to gain knowledge through practical examples, discuss and reflect on complex topics, surface their emotions, think differently, experience the world through another person's perspective, get a sense of identity by comparing to others, and of course, motivate them to take action. Now that that's out of the way, let's discover the structure of a story. Telling stories is easy, especially if you know how to do it. So here's a simple story structure that you can use in your own training sessions. First, set the scene. This describes where and when the story takes place and what circumstances are at play. Next, identify the goal. Begin the journey by explaining the end goal and the tasks that must be accomplished. Then, introduce the characters. These are the critical connection points for your audience. To help learners relate to the characters, describe any personality or traits that are important to the story. Next, describe the obstacle. What happens that impedes the progress of our hero and their mission to accomplish the task? Obstacles are the soul of the story. If our character doesn't have a struggle, a barrier, a catastrophe, or a dilemma, then there's really nothing there to talk about. That's when you overcome the obstacle. What did the hero do or not do to rise to the occasion? Then, make your point. What did the hero learn? How did their world change? And so on. You can easily turn this into a discussion for your learners to figure out on their own instead of spelling it out for them. And finally, draw the conclusion. Conclude the story by giving specific calls for action that your learners can apply right away. And again, these can come from the learners in the form of a discussion. And that's it. You don't have to follow each step if it doesn't make sense for your story. Sometimes the hero won't be a single person, but a whole team or even a whole company. And sometimes the task won't be very clear, and it would have to be implied in the context. For example, if a company is going through, say, a cultural transformation, and one single person doesn't want to change their behavior, the task isn't going to be for them to change, but for the organization to evolve without them. A great story I like to tell, especially when it's applicable, is about a little frog. The little frog decided to climb the highest mountain in the land, and all the other frogs would scream at him and shout at him from the bottom of the mountain saying, "You're going to fail, you're gonna fall down, you're never gonna reach the peak." But the little frog just kept going up. At some point, the little frog reached the peak of the mountain and then started his descent down. When he reached the bottom and all the other frogs rejoined him and started celebrating his success, they asked him, "How come you didn't listen to any one of us?" And it turned out that the little frog was actually deaf. What does that story mean to you, and how can you relate it to your personal or professional development? Let us know in the comments down below. Try it yourself. Choose a training topic that you're familiar with and think about what relevant stories you can tell that will enrich the learning experience. Download our storytelling template to help you develop a story that will enrich your training session. The link is in the description down below, and it's completely free. We would love to hear your stories and their effects on your learners, so share your successes down below or on social media, make sure to tag us. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and consider subscribing for more content like this. And let us know, what other L&D topics would you like to know more about? Good luck and see you next time!